Dearest new neighbor, allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood. That is how the first letter began. It was the politest sentence a family would ever be terrified by. Because the stranger who wrote it that knew their children, he knew how many there were. He called them young blood. The family had just paid $1.3 million for their dream home. They would never spend a single night inside it. And to this day, nobody knows who was watching them. Westfield, New Jersey, 30 minutes from Manhattan, tree-lined streets, colonial houses, one of the safest towns in America. And on its most elegant street stood the house everyone admired. Number 6, 57, Boulevard. Built in 1905, 6 bedrooms, a century of quiet, uneventful history. In June 2014, Derek and Maria Broaddus signed the papers. They had 3 small children and 1 dream. Maria had grown up in Westfield. This was her coming home. They started renovations right away. Fresh paint, new kitchen. The children picked their bedrooms. 3 days after closing, Derek was at the house alone, painting. Night had fallen. He walked out to check the mailbox. Inside was a single white envelope. Thick card stock, no return address, addressed in heavy type to the new owner. Dearest new neighbor, it read, allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood. Then the tone shifted. 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s. My father watched in the 1960s. It is now my time. Whoever wrote it had been paying close attention. They knew the renovations. They knew the contractor's schedule. And then, the line that changed everything. You have children. I have seen them. The writer asked if they were bringing the young blood the house had requested. It was signed with 2 words, The Watcher. Derek stood alone in that empty house, every window a black mirror. Someone could be looking in right now. He called the police that night. Their advice was simple, tell no one. Detectives asked the previous owners a hard question. Had they ever received anything like this? The answer was chilling. Yes, once. A strange letter, just days before they moved out. After 23 quiet years in the house, they had thrown it away and thought nothing of it. Which meant the watcher had been waiting, watching the house change hands, ready for the new family. 2 weeks later, Maria walked to the mailbox. The second letter had arrived. This time, the watcher used their names, and worse, the children's nicknames. Nicknames the family only used in private. Whoever this was, they were close enough to hear. The letter asked which bedrooms the children would sleep in. It wondered if they would play in the basement. And it asked a question no parent could unread. Have they found what is in the walls yet? In time, they will. The Broadduses stopped bringing their children to the house. The renovation continued. The dream did not. Maria began scanning parked cars, watching pedestrians, wondering, is it you? Because the watcher had answered that question in writing, who am I? There are hundreds and hundreds of cars that drive by 657 Boulevard every day. Maybe I am in one. All of the windows and doors, the letter said, allow me to watch you as you move through the house. The police investigation began quietly, and it started next door. A neighboring family had lived beside the house for decades, long enough to fit the letter's timeline. One relative was interviewed. He denied everything. No evidence ever linked him to a single letter. He was cleared. So investigators turned to the letters themselves and found something no one expected. DNA on one envelope, the kind left behind when someone licks the seal. The profile suggested the sender was a woman. It matched no suspect, no database, no neighbor, a ghost. The family hired private investigators, former FBI, handwriting experts, nothing. They installed cameras. The letters simply stopped arriving while the cameras watched, as if the watcher knew. By now the family was breaking. They were paying 2 mortgages, living with relatives, afraid of a mailbox.
6 months after buying their dream home, they made the unthinkable decision: sell it. But in a town like Westfield, secrets leak. Word of the letters got out. Suddenly, it wasn't 657 Boulevard anymore. It was the Watcher house. Buyers toured it, loved it, then Googled the address and vanished. The family sued the previous owners for not disclosing that final letter. The town took sides. Then the Broadduses proposed something desperate: demolish the house, split the land, build 2 new homes, erase it. In 2017, the town planning board heard the proposal. The neighbors packed the room. The vote was unanimous. Request denied. The house would stand. Weeks later, another letter arrived. The Watcher was celebrating. 657 Boulevard survived your attempted assault, it read. My soldiers of the Boulevard follow my orders. You wonder who the Watcher is? Maybe you even spoke to me, one of the so-called neighbors who has no idea who the Watcher could be. Read that again. The Watcher was telling them, you already know me. Unable to sell, the family rented the house out. Tenants moved in where they never could. The tenants stayed for years. And here is the strange part. The Watcher rarely wrote to them at all. The obsession was never with the house's occupants. It was with the family that got away. In July 2019, 5 years after that first envelope, the Broadduses finally sold for $959,000. $400,000 less than they paid. The price of escaping a stranger's obsession. They never spent a single night in the house they owned for 5 years. So, who was the Watcher? Theory 1, a neighbor, someone with a view of the house, a grudge, or decades of habit. The letters were mailed from nearby. They knew things only a local could know, but every neighbor checked out clean. Theory 2, the woman. The DNA on that envelope belonged to a female no one ever identified. Was she the Watcher? An accomplice? Or someone asked to lick an envelope, who never knew what was inside? Theory 3, someone inside the real estate world, trying to poison the sale and buy the house cheap. But the house sat unsold for years at a crushing discount. No mysterious buyer ever swooped in. And Theory 4, the one nobody in Westfield says out loud, that the Watcher enjoyed it and simply got what they wanted. In 2018, a journalist spent months inside the case. The article went viral around the world. In 2022, Netflix turned the story into a series. It hit #1. Tourists began driving past the house, which means, in the end, thousands of strangers now do exactly what the letters described. They watch the house. The current owners report no letters. The DNA has never found a match. The case file remains open. No arrest, no name, no motive ever proven. The Watcher wrote 4 letters and got away with everything. Somewhere tonight, someone knows how those letters ended up in that mailbox. Maybe they still drive down the boulevard. Maybe they slowed down just a little at number 657. My grandfather watched in the 1920s. My father watched in the 1960s. It is now my time. And if the letters told the truth, someday it will be someone else's time. Who do you think the Watcher was? The neighbor? The woman? Someone no one ever suspected? Tell me in the comments. And if you want a new mystery like this every day, you know what to do. Because someone somewhere is always watching.